Welcome to our first show on MMA Financial Markets Week. This first show will deal with the forecast for 2016. And here with me is Mr. Ray Merriman, the president of Merriman Market Analyst. And he just wrote this book, Forecast 2016, which is now available. And we want to discuss some of the things that Ray has addressed in this book. Ray, you are a financial astrologer, so what exactly do you do?
My name is Raymond Merriman, and I'm the editor of the MMA Cycles Report, and I have been for over 30 years. I'm a financial market timer, and as a financial market timer, my task is to identify times of important lows and highs in financial markets. And I do this through the study of cycles analysis, technical analysis, and geocosmic studies.
Ray, based on your studies, which is the most important geocosmic factor influencing the outlook for 2016?
That's a very good question. The most significant astrological or geocosmic factor in effect in 2016 is the 36-year cycle of Saturn in a square aspect to Neptune. This is an aspect whose principles deal with trust versus mistrust, cooperation versus betrayal of agreements. And so this is the challenge for world leaders, to come to cooperation and to honor those cooperations and agreements and not betray them. It also affects weather. Saturn is loss and coldness or lack of. Neptune is rains. So either we have losses caused by floods or we have losses caused by not enough water, as in droughts in some parts of the world. The other area that we found a very remarkable correlation with this aspect has to do with interest rates. You get long-term cycles ending in interest rates and new ones beginning. For instance, 36 years ago was the 1979-1980 inflation period when interest rates were very high across the world. The time before that was 1945, give or take a year, and interest rates were also very, very low. And if you go back through history, you'll see every 36 years, give or take 2 years, you get these long-term lows in interest rates and long-term highs in interest rates. So there's quite a correlation there with the economy when interest rates move from low, where they are today, and they start to increase.
Do you have any thoughts about the US presidential election in November 2016?
Well, of course, as an American, I do have thoughts about the election 2016. This election can be insightful if you look at the chart of the United States and the charts of the candidates running. In our study, the candidates who are most likely to win will have strong ties astrologically to the charts of the United States. They're related. And if you look at the charts of the candidates we have presently, those that seem to have the strongest correlation to the United States chart are Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, and Dr. Ben Carson.
In the astrological tradition, 2016 is called a Mars year, and we know that Mars is a planet of fight and war. Does this have any correlation to the actual planetary movements next year?
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Mars is very prominent in the year 2016 because it's going retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius, a fire sign, and it's very close to Saturn. And when Mars and Saturn are close together, this indicates increased world tensions and the possibilities of war threats. So when you ask me, is it a Mars year in traditional astrology, the answer is yes. It is a very strong Mars year, and so will 2018. Mars goes retrograde with Saturn each of those years. But 2016 is extremely critical for that issue.
What are some of the positive things we can look forward to with these constellations next year?
Well, in the study of mundane and financial astrology, we always look at Jupiter as a pathway to growth and optimism. And it's in the sign of Virgo, which is employment. So the employment figures tend to be positive. More and more people are going to work. And that does generate some support for the economy. probably through 2016, maybe into 2017 as well.
Thank you, Ray. It was very interesting. Thank you for sharing your insights on 2016.
And thank you also, Antonio.
Okay, you may order the book and read in depth what Ray thinks about 2016, and it also contains forecasts for all 12 sun signs. You may also consider to sign up for his webinar on the forecast 2016, which takes place Sunday, January 10th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can either go directly to Ray's website under mmacycles.com or write an email to his office under ordersmma@msn.com. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you
And wishing you a good 2016.
to everyone.